Imagine you are in a cafeteria. You're hungry. You grab a tray. You move along the counter. Salad on the left, fries on the right. You pick the fries. Normal, fine, your choice. But here's what researchers discovered. In real cafeterias with real people, simply placing the salad at eye level at the front of the counter increased how often people choose it by up to 30%. No lectures, no calorie labels, no removing the fries. Just position and behavior shifted. That's not mind control, that's not manipulation. That's what behavioral scientists call a nudge. A small change to the environment that reliably shifts behavior without forcing anyone to do anything. And once you understand how it works, you are going to start seeing it everywhere. One of the most famous experiments in behavioral science comes from Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. They wanted to understand how people respond to risk. Simple scenario. There is a disease outbreak. 600 people are at risk. Option A, save 200 people for certain. Option B, 1/3 change of saving everyone, 2/3 change, nobody survives. Most people choose option A. It feels safe, it feels responsible. Then they changed one thing. Same situation, different presentation. Option C, 400 people will definitely die. Option D, a 1/3 change, nobody dies. 2/3 change, everyone dies. Mathematically, A and C are identical. B and D are identical. They describe the exact same outcomes. But when framed as losses instead of gains, most people switched. They choose the gamble. What changed? Not the facts, the frame. This is the framing effect, and it's everywhere. Every time a financial product is described, every time a medical outcome is explained, every time a political argument is made, someone is choosing a frame. And that frame shapes your reaction before your reasoning even begins. Here is one of the most striking findings in all of behavioral science, a retirement saving program. Two versions. In one, employees had to opt in, fill out the form, make a call. Around 40% joined. In the other, employees were enrolled automatically. They could leave anytime. Over 90% stayed. Same plan, same contribution rate, same people, different default. The easy choice won in almost always does. Defaults are everywhere. Your phone settings, your retirement contribution percentage, the privacy settings on every app you've downloaded. The subscription boxes already checked at checkout. They don't remove your choice. They make one choice vastly easier than the other. And the easy choice wins. Almost every time. You would expect more options to lead to better decisions. More information, more comparison, more freedom to find exactly what you want. A classic experiment tested this with jam. One display had 6 options, another had 24. More people stopped at the larger display. That makes sense, more to look at. But here's what happened at the register. The smaller display sold significantly more. Why? Because choice is mentally expensive. Every option requires comparison. Every comparison requires energy. And when the brain gets overloaded, it doesn't choose carefully. It often doesn't choose at all. This is why you scroll through streaming platforms for 45 minutes and end up with watching nothing. This is why big investment menus cause people to delay enrolling. This is why more options often feel less empowering and more paralyzing. Some of the most unsettling experiments have nothing to do with money or food. They are about character. In the Good Samaritan experiment, theology students, people actively trained to be ministers, people who had chosen a life centered on helping others, were sent across the campus. Along the way, they passed someone clearly in distress, slumped in a doorway, visibly struggling. Who stopped to help? Not the students who had just read about the parable of the Good Samaritan. The students who weren't in a hurry. Time pressure mattered more than values. Situation beat intention. That's a difficult result to sit with. But it reveals something important. Behavior often depends less on who we think we are and more on the situation we find ourselves in. Step back and look across these experiments. A pattern emerges that's hard to ignore. Small details shape behavior. Where options are placed, which options is default, how choices are framed, how many options there are, whether you are tired, rushed, or distracted. These details quietly steer behavior while we feel completely in control. And that's the crucial part. We feel in control. We don't notice the influence. We experience the choice as free. But the architecture of the choice has already done most of the work. The point isn't to feel manipulated. The point is to start seeing structure where you used to see pure choice. Once you understand defaults, framing, and placement, you can ask better questions. Why is this option pre-selected? Why is this choice highlighted? Why am I being given a sense of urgency? Who benefits if I choose this default? That awareness alone changes things, because you go from being a passive receiver of choice architecture to someone who can evaluate it consciously. An environment beats intention far often than we expect. That doesn't mean intentions don't matter. It means intentions need support. If you want to save more, make it automatic. If you want to eat better, change what's visible and easy to reach. If you want to be more productive, remove the friction that pulls you away. Changing the environment is almost always more effective than relying on willpower. This raises one unavoidable question. If these effects are this reliable, if small changes work this predictably, then who is using them right now, intentionally, on you? These ideas didn't stay in academic journals. They moved into marketing departments, political campaigns, technology companies, and that's where the story turns uncomfortable. Next time we go outside the lab and into the real world. Subscribe so you are there for it. And tell me in the comments which of these experiments struck you the most.